Hey guys, Josh here, back again with another graphic novel review. This week I'm reviewing Batman Hush. If you haven't read this yet, feel free to watch the video because I am going to keep this review spoiler free. Let's start with the art. Jim Lee is the penciler, and I am a total Jim Lee fanboy. I absolutely love his art, particularly his work on Batman. The man can flat out draw Batman. I gave the art for Hush a perfect 10 out of 10. Now, I see a lot of complaints online, and I know people personally who don't particularly care for Jim Lee's art. They find his anatomy a little unrealistic, but I'm fine with that. I mean, after all, we're talking about a superhero comic, so in superhero anatomy does tend to be very unrealistic. And the way I judge comic book art is, does it look cool? That is my only criteria. Well, I have two criteria actually. Does it look cool? And if you're drawing a person who also exists in real life, for instance in a Star Wars comic, if you're drawing Luke Skywalker, does it look like Luke Skywalker? Now, Batman obviously does not really have a real life counterpart. He has a lot of different live action actors playing him, so what he looks like in the comic book doesn't have to equate a real life person. So the only criteria there is to meet is, does it look cool? And it looks so cool. I mean, just look at this. That is an awesome Batman right there. Jim Lee is my all-time favorite artist for all of Batman. And, like I said, I gave the art for Hush a perfect 10 out of 10. Moving on to dialogue and voice. The dialogue throughout this comic is great. The narration, which is Bruce Wayne, is great. But where the comic really excels is Batman's interactions with his family, his Bat family, including Catwoman, which is where the comic really takes off. The interactions between Batman and Catwoman are absolutely my favorite part of the entire book. I gave dialogue and voice a score of 9 out of 10. And story. Hush is probably my favorite Batman story that I have ever read. And for me, it would rival The Killing Joke and Dark Knight Returns in Year One as up there for the best Batman story ever written. That's just my personal opinion. If you have a differing opinion, let's talk about it down in the comments. But for me, my opinion, this is right up there in the conversation for the best Batman story ever written, and it is my favorite Batman story that I've ever read. Now, keeping this video spoiler free, I'm not going to give away any specifics, but Batman runs through a gauntlet of villains and even an ally who has been turned against him. So that in alone is really, really interesting to me, but where the comic really gets good is with the detective story. So often we forget that Batman is the world's greatest detective, and Hush really succeeds in reminding us of that. I gave story a perfect 10 out of 10. In my view, there are no weak links in this book. The book as a whole is a highlight. But if I was going to pick out the thing I enjoyed the most about Batman Hush, it would be the art for sure. Problems with the comic? I don't have any problems with the comic. As I said, there are quite a bit of people out there who don't particularly care for Jim Lee's art. I'm just not one of those people. I am a total Jim Lee fanboy, especially his work on Batman. Overall score, I'm going to score Batman Hush a 9.5 out of 10. I would love to know what you guys think. If you have read Batman Hush and you really enjoyed it, let's talk about it down in the comments. If you read Batman Hush and you didn't particularly enjoy it, what if you hated it? Let's talk about that as well. I'm open to discussion. Okay, that's going to do it for this review. If you enjoyed it, and I certainly hope you did, be sure to let me know by clicking that like button, subscribe for more reviews, and I hope to see you back next week when I review Kanan Volume 1, The Last Padawan. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.